Well, here we go. Week 9 of this NFL season will commence in under 2 hours from right now when the Baltimore Ravens at 5-3 welcome the 5-3 Denver Broncos. One team will escape today with 6 wins. The other, 5-4, probably licking their wounds after a 1 o'clock kickoff inside M&T Bank Stadium. With that, welcome inside the channel. I'm Bobby Trosset, and as always, this is where I bring you Baltimore sports and beyond. Pre-game shows this year for home games are sponsored, as always, by Be More Around Town. BeMoreAroundTown.com is where you can book your purple tailgate today. Literally just met one of my most loyal subscribers in person for the very first time, Asmodeus. He goes by. I didn't realize his actual name is Richard. He's the best. He traveled up from Woodbridge, Virginia to be here, the Fairfax area, with his buddy as well. And so looking forward to having him on in just a bit. Chris McAllister, former Super Bowl champ, is walking around here as well. And for the Ravens, obviously, they've already got 3 AFC losses. Remember that all 3 losses have come to AFC teams. So the more you play AFC teams, the more that means, obviously, pivotal. It's pivotal for seeding. It's pivotal for this conference moving forward as the postseason picture starts to become more and more clear as we get closer and closer to December football, and it is officially November football. And before we begin today, you guys know one of my most supportive and trusted sponsors over the last year that I've been running this channel are my friends at Preston Automotive Group. It's the reason why I've been rolling around in my Ford Bronco white Sport with the, of course, the slick Bobby Baltimore decal in the back, which has you guys road raging with me on the roads. And, man, it's just been a tremendous experience working with Preston. And one of my good friends at Preston, Kate Timmons from the marketing group, is here today to present me with something that's super special, and I can't wait. My future man cave, by the way, is going to have a couple of these. There's no question. But Kate making her debut on the channel, I can't believe it took us this long to make this happen. So how are you doing? Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
And thank you, by the way, for this design.
Oh, my gosh, of course.
It's one of the many that you have over in your pop-up station here at Be More Around Town. So
new setup.
Gosh, everybody's here today. It's a beautiful, crisp fall morning. We're getting ready for week 9 football, but show the people what you made for me.
Yeah, no, beautiful design here. Showing off our Bobby Baltimore. We're super proud to sponsor with him.
I love it.
Yep, we got one of these for Mark Andrews as well. Yeah, just another little addition to our new setup here. We got a gorgeous new unit on site at Bobby at Be More Around Town. So super excited and hopefully to do some segments in the future with you in that unit. So
absolutely, yeah. Preston Automotive Group is where you can find them across all social media platforms. Of course, PrestonMotor.com. You can find the deals that we've got going for Bobby Baltimore. Exclusive incentives, whether it be the $500 off a newer pre-owned, or if you buy 4 tires, you'll get 50% off your alignment. So those are great deals that we have running that you can learn more on the show notes in. And I just wanted to, one, say hello to you. 2,
yes, of course.
I hope you enjoy your fall day here. And again, just wanted to, obviously on behalf of the entire team, it's been an awesome partnership for the last year plus.
Oh, of course.
And can't wait to continue working with you guys.
Me too. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. And we're going to talk football next time, by the way.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to put you on the spot.
I got to do my research. All right.
Thanks, Kate. Appreciate you, as always.
You soon.
Kate Timmons from Preston Automotive Group.
Thank you.
One of the many that are going to be coming in and out of the channel today. You know how it goes. The guest lines are open, by the way. So if you'd like to call in and share a thought with me today as we get ready for this Week 9 matchup, please do by clicking on the link that we have included in the show notes. And look who's behind me, by the way, over my right shoulder, Mr. C-Mac, Chris McAllister walking around. Not sure if he'll be joining me today on the show, but maybe if we pressure him enough, we can have him on at some point. But all right, people, let's get it going and talk about this matchup and what to expect. Ravens obviously looking to get back in the win column after dropping 1 to Cleveland last weekend in Cleveland on the road, a tough divisional opponent, maybe not by record, but they gave the Ravens all they could handle. Now, was it more so about what Bill Belichick's been talking about for what feels like weeks now, right, related to the only team that can beat the Ravens are themselves? Well, maybe Bill is onto something here because we all know that this team collectively as a group, defensively wise, leads the league in dropped interceptions with 8, 3 of which came on Sunday in Cleveland. That's not going to cut it. Those are the missed opportunities that obviously the Ravens just can't live with if you want to be a contender and somebody that's potentially competing for AFC titles and Super Bowls moving forward. That's the reality of it. In terms of today's opponent, the Denver Broncos come to town at 5-3. And I think that there is a legitimate question to be had in terms of who they've faced and the degree of difficulty or lack thereof. They're coming off a shellacking of the Carolina Panthers, but at the same time, we know who the Carolina Panthers are at this point in time, right? And so this is a division that good luck winning it with Kansas City playing football the way they are at 7-0. But for Denver, they're led by rookie quarterback Bo Nix and the longtime NFL head coach who made his hay in New Orleans, Sean Payton. You see the numbers here, and let's go big screen just for those of you who maybe struggle in the eyesight department. I know I can from time to time, especially with the glare out here. But this is a defense that's been carrying the team. Make no mistake about it. I get it. Bo is coming off an AFC Rookie of the Month performance in the month of October. But look at where the defense ranks. 3rd overall in total. 7th overall in rushing. 4th overall in the pass. Against the pass, I should say. 3rd overall in points per game allowed. They're 16th on 3rd down. 2nd on 4th down. And 3rd inside the 20 in terms of red zone defense. We'll get to what the Ravens are dealing with in just a bit. But one thing I want to keep in mind here, okay? Take a look. Take a look at what Denver has struggled with. Not only penalties, but they turn the football over via fumbling. They have had a lot of fumbles, and they are susceptible when it comes to ball security. If Marlon Humphrey's going to be good to go today, and it's rumored that he will be on a pitch count, but after being listed as questionable on Friday, he's going to be out there. Expect him to maybe go in for some punches on ball carriers throughout points of today. This is what I'm talking about when I refer to, I would say, a questionable schedule so far in terms of what Denver's defense has went up against opposing offensive units-wise. Their wins this year have come most recently against Carolina. Prior to that, it was the Derek Carr-less New Orleans Saints, the Vegas Raiders, the New York Jets by a score of 10-9, yuck, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Probably the most, I would say, probably their toughest opponent to date, or their most impressive win, let's call it, would be the Bucs. And that's when, of course, they were at full strength before they lost Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. As for their losses, to the Chargers a few weeks back, to the Steelers, who at the time was being led by Justin Fields. Yeah, give me 1 second here. Yeah, she's ready? Okay. Yeah, come on over. And then, of course, so one of their losses came to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that was before, of course, Russell Wilson took over. And prior to that, it was Mike McDonald's Seattle Seahawks in Week 1. And before we continue talking about these Denver Broncos, I have a special guest. Melissa, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm Bobby.
Bobby, it's nice to meet you. Thank you.
You're on the Bobby Baltimore YouTube channel this morning on a crisp fall day. And Brian just sent me a note here. You're with Stanley's Snacks, and it's Brian's nonprofit charity work that he's promoting today. And what's going on in your world?
So I'm Melissa Martin. I'm the founder of Stanley Snacks for School Kids.
I'm just going to go like this for you.
We provide snacks to public schools for kids who suffer from food insecurity and hunger. We serve between 5,000 and 9,000 kids a month in the Baltimore metro area. And we solve one problem. We provide snacks. So for children who get to school late, we supply a Nutri-Grain bar, Belvita cookies, oatmeal, things like that. If maybe they've had lunch and they're still hungry,
yep,
we have a healthier fruit snack. So we provide healthier snacks. We've been doing this about 7 years and grown. And this is our first tailgate, which we're very excited to be at. 2 years ago, I was named Hometown Hero for the Ravens. So we kind of keep it in the theme. We do stuff with the Ravens alumni. So we have Matt Lawrence, who was a running back for the team, who is one of our biggest supporters.
He'll be coming up next.
And he's coming up next to talk about what we do. But we're a very simple operation. Schools sign up with us. We provide them snacks, and they go into the bellies of hungry kids. We have found that when a child is hungry, or maybe doesn't have the proper nutrition, that they suffer from other items.
Yeah.
They're hungry, they're not paying attention. I mean, I always say that when we're hangry, what happens to us, right? Well, imagine you're sitting in a class trying to learn, and all you can hear is your stomach growl.
Maybe there's a correlation between misbehavior, right? Frustrations, exhaustion. I'm sure that's all correlated somehow, some way.
Correct. And,
Yeah.
not only that, and there's a lack of, proper nutrition. So your brains aren't fully developing properly because you don't have the proper. So that's why we try to get away from the potato chips and pretzels world, right? We do healthier snacks, and we look at what we're giving to schools to make sure that it's a better choice. Sometimes we will take apples to school, and we found that some kids don't even know what a whole apple looks like because they're so used to seeing apple slices, right? So they think of an apple slice, they don't see the whole apple as a whole and all the things it can do.
Sure. How can folks help out?
So we have StanleySnacks.org. If they're here today, we have amazing silent auction going on. We have some fun things. We have raffles. We have gift cards. And then we have our website, which is StanleySnacks.org. And we're always happy to take donations. And one thing I started 7 years ago, which I continue to do, is every time an individual gives us $1, 100% of that dollar goes to buying snacks for our kids. So there's no overhead. Anybody who works with us are volunteers, but 100% of your donation goes to buying snacks.
Fully focused on the Baltimore schools.
Correct.
Okay. StanleySnacks.org if you guys would like to help out today. Do you need any recommendations on schools? Are you always looking for recommendations on schools?
We are always looking for schools, and they can go to our website. It's a lot of information on our website, and we keep it updated because we want people to know. But it has to be a public school.
Okay.
And again, it's right now we're only serving the Baltimore metro area, but we have schools from Anne Arundel County, Howard County. At this point, until we raise more funds, we're going to stay in the Baltimore metro area.
Well, Melissa, on behalf of, I know I have a lot of people that listen to this show that maybe aren't from here, or excuse me, were originally from here and have since went elsewhere, but are still heavily involved in the Baltimore community, have a piece of their heart that will always be here. And so I'll speak for them when I say thank you for the work that you do. StanleySnacks.org. We will link to that in the show notes after this one is over. And I can't wait to have Matt Lawrence on. And Melissa, it's great meeting you. And thanks for the time today. All right. Melissa Stanley there from StanleySnacks.org. We'll have former Ravens running back Matt Lawrence joining us in just a few minutes here. But StanleySnacks.org is how you can help out today. Great initiative there. And now, as promised, and we've never met before. So, Matt, Bobby Trosset, nice to meet you.
Bobby, nice to meet you.
Former Ravens running back, kind enough to spend some time here. And let's get that out of the way first and foremost, and not to push it off to the side by any stretch of the imagination, because I think Melissa's doing extremely great work.
She is.
What about the mission? What about Melissa attracted you to wanting to get involved?
I mean, when you think about just philanthropy, giving back in general, you want to do the right thing. Everybody, we grow up, we want to do the right thing. And so the thing about Melissa, she wants to do the right thing. Sometimes it doesn't need to be some big explanation. We talked and we said, she said, kids are starving in Baltimore City. I'm like, they suffer with food insecurity.
Yeah.
So, that's a thing. But then, we went to one high school. She said, they have a 30% homeless rate at the school. And I thought it was a little bit, fluff, maybe exaggeration, because we get hit with so often with people wanting to get back. We went to the school. They're like, we float between 26 and 28%. I'm like, what? Like, that's a thing? Like, that's a thing? They're like, they haven't eaten since yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real thing.
Right.
So I said, okay, we can get them a Nutri-Grain bar. You understand what I'm saying? So when she says, when I says, I'm going to Costco to get a Nutri-Grain bar for a kid who hasn't eaten since yesterday, it's either I'm going regardless, so either we all can pitch in and go, or I can go. So either way, one more kid's going to eat. And so when you talk about giving back and serving, sometimes it's 100 bars, 1,000 bars. Sometimes it's 5.
Sure.
But you do what you can with what you got, and the community around us supports us. They support the Ravens, and we support Melissa as she does her great work.
I don't blame you at all, because while I just met her for the first time just a matter of seconds ago, you can tell that her heart is in it for all the right reasons, and you guys are trying to right all those wrongs that happen in this city,
Absolutely.
right? On a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So StanleySnacks.org if you guys would like to get involved today. I'm joined by Matt Lawrence, former Ravens running back, 2008 to 2011. Is that correct?
Yes, 12. Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
So not going to surprise you. That was before my time here in town.
Yeah, no worries.
I showed up. I showed up in 2013 to go to Loyola College, and I've been here ever since. But would love to get your thoughts on this year's team, of course. And my goodness, if you were to be in that backfield right now with a guy splitting carries by the name of King Henry, what would life look like if you're Justice Hill, for example?
I mean, listen, it's a team. So first, from the perspective of the position group, you got to understand it's a team for real.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play. I wanted to start. You understand what I'm saying? Justice wants to start. Make no mistake. But it's a team effort. Right now, King Henry is the hot hand. He's been the hot hand, you know what I mean, for a while now.
10 plus years.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a tight-knit group. There's no animosity. I mean, look at me. I had McGahee. I had LaRon McClain.
Willis.
I had Ray Rice, right? Yep. And so it's a tight-knit group, and we all help each other. So Justice is definitely a big part of that backfield. Whether you see him on the field or not, it's all about the eyes of what we're seeing and all about how we are analyzing the game, because King Henry, he can't see it all, right? So when he comes to the sideline, he's going to say, hey, listen, Justice, what do you got going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you seeing that I'm not? So that matters.
Man, I love the fact that Monken has, and I hope this continues when Keaton comes back. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, Keaton was not activated from the PUP list today.
Okay.
So Keaton could potentially make his season debut, thank you, Melissa, on Thursday night. Of course, it's a quick turnaround.
Yes.
I would have to think that was a part of the factor in terms of, a factor in terms of the decision to either activate him today and then push it on a quick turnaround, maybe get him ready for Thursday night. But I love the fact that Todd Monken's kept Justice involved. Not only and it's a small sample size in terms of his carry load this year, but the screen game. He's really been able to showcase the quick cuts, the vision ability, and that's something that I think gives them a new flavor.
The more you can do, the more you can do.
Yeah,
we're out here trying to win football games.
Yep.
Sometimes you're going to get the carries. Some seasons you're not. But what are you going to do with the opportunities that you get? And he's going to make the most out of it. That's what matters. Screen game. Because we know what he can do. Guess who else knows what he can do? He does.
Yeah, he certainly does.
You feel me? So
for sure.
He does, and he's going to make it, because when you only get a set amount of carries, you're waiting, you're boiling, and when he gets going, the world's better watch out.
Would love to get your thoughts on what you've seen from afar of Keaton Mitchell. This is a guy whose father, of course, was on the 2000 team.
Undrafted.
Anthony Mitchell. And obviously still very involved as an alum. And I'm sure he's just thrilled that his son's obviously getting an opportunity here. And, man, he really gave him a shot in the arm last year. He goes down with the ACL. Talk about the ability to get quickly around the edge. He's got a burst that I haven't seen in a long time in this town.
So here's a podcast exclusive. Only heard here. Okay. It's a better feeling for his father to see his son go play in the NFL than it was for him. Boom. And that's verbatim from Dad.
Okay.
So listen, you can only hear that here. So that's what makes this so good. So listen, let's talk about burst. Let's talk about the son, right? Let's talk about Mr. Keaton. He's amazing. I mean, you talk about from 0 to 60, right? He's out of here. He's fast as lightning. He is like, when you look at film and you say, what do you need from a running back? He is it.
Yeah.
Period. He is it. He's going to give you everything.
How the hell did he go undrafted?
Hey, it happened. You know what?
It's amazing.
Everybody has their value.
Yeah.
Hey, and kids, if you're listening, what I tell all the football kids, go where you're valued. The Ravens value him. The Ravens valued me. I was undrafted. I was at home in my room. The Ravens said, hey, Harbaugh said, hey, listen, you can go. Come on, be a Raven in 4 years.
His first year.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was Bears said no. Seahawks said no. Ravens said yes. In 4 years, I did a tremendous job listening to my directions, but he's doing the same thing. And when you listen to directions and you got good guidance like the folks at the Ravens, there's sky's the limit.
But you're part of one of the great stories that's become a trend over John Harbaugh's tenure when it comes to not only cultivating the talent, finding the talent that goes undrafted, and then becoming staples.
Sure.
Pat Ricard, Justin Tucker, Patrick McCary is a current version that goes on that's probably not talked about enough
Sure.
in terms of how useful he's been for
Justin
you.
Forsett.
Justin Forsett. I mean, we could go on, and it seems like every year, and of course Keaton's was last year, they find a diamond in the rough, and there you have it.
That's right. You know, it's a testament to everyone's hard work, a scouting department to the player. Everybody has to be encouraged. Nobody can be discouraged because there's a kid out there who wants to get after it, and they're waiting for their opportunity. And your time is waiting. Mine was waiting. I just needed somebody to believe me.
Sure.
Right? And then just like Justice Hill, we're talking about with the limited carries and things like that. Once they get their opportunity, it's lights out. You better believe it because we're all waiting on it.
No question. How are you doing on time? I don't want to keep you too long.
No, we're good to go.
You want to keep talking shop?
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Okay, because I believe the inactives are out today, and here they are right on cue. Oh, that's not it. Let's see. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to do a little screen share here. By the way, over 400 of you joining me here today. Matt Lawrence, former Ravens running back, kind enough to spend some time with me as we get ready, of course, for this Week 9 matchup between the Ravens and Broncos. And here are your inactives today. Jalen Armour-Davis, who was questionable throughout the week. Rasheen Ali, the rookie fifth-round pick out of Marshall. Not a surprise there. Eddie Jackson is inactive. I'm going to get your thoughts on that in just a bit, Matt. Adisa Isaac, yet another healthy scratch. A tough year so far for the rookie. Nick Samac, no surprise. Back-to-back weeks, David Ajabo is a healthy scratch. That's highly disappointing. And Brent Urban remains in concussion protocol. Okay, so first and foremost.
Give me your take first. I like to hear. I always like to hear the takes first.
Okay, I'll start it.
Ajabo, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's okay. As much as I want to focus on Ajabo because of all the hype that was surrounding him this offseason, I want to start with Eddie.
Okay.
I think based on what he put on tape last week, the Ravens were left with no other choice but to bench him. I hate to say that. He is a veteran. He's a proven player. But Matt, what he put on tape,
guy,
Matt, what he put on tape last week, I think one, it put the Ravens in a really tough position.
Yep.
They benched Marcus Williams for the day.
Sure.
The expectation is that he will be back today.
Sure.
There's also a thought that something happened behind the scenes. It was referred to as an internal type situation. I'm not here to speculate, but clearly something happened. The Ravens tried to send him a message. That message was not answered by Eddie Jackson.
Right.
Whatsoever. And so, to me, Eddie is he's fallen off a bit.
Okay.
But my hope is that today's benching is not the end of his time in Baltimore, is not the end of what they'll need him to be. But for now, based on what last week was, which was two dropped interceptions,
sure,
and a busted coverage there, and what ended up becoming the game-winning throw from Jameis to his guy, tough showing.
Sure. I mean, I'm gonna be partial because I'm a player.
That's fine.
So what you have?
I want you to counter that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
What exactly? What are we asking for players to make freaking plays? Right? Get out there, make plays. He's gonna have piss poor games. This isn't the last piss poor game by him or anybody else on the list.
No.
Now, we want him to make these plays. We want everybody to make plays. Now, people are going to make, takes, and they're going to say, listen, they benched a guy for him, and he had his opportunity to drop it. Listen, whatever the case may be, guys aren't out here trying to fail on purpose. And so I'm not sure what's happening in any of these guys' personal lives, especially Eddie Jackson. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what the internal thing was with the other guy. I don't know. But what I can say is guys are out there trying to be in the right position at the right time. You know what I mean? And it's for the fan looking for the, saying, hey, listen, but these guys got to make these plays. They do. But, hey, you got to make plays at home when it counts for your kids, for your family, for your work, too. And it doesn't always pan out due to whatever reason. So I'm just here to say, hey, it's going to take a lot more grace on everybody to make it work. No. But, I understand the fact that, hey, we want to – he's going to be evaluated, obviously, right? He's going to be evaluated, and he's going to, I hope it's not his last time either. No doubt. But we all get evaluated, right? They're consequences for our action. Our action. So he's got to do better, and I'm sure he wants to.
It's a playmaking business.
Absolutely.
You hope he'll be able to bounce back. As for today, no Eddie Jackson. Remember, Travis Jones was questionable with an ankle. He will play today, as will Josh Tupou and Chris Wormley.
We tackle out of Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm from Connecticut.
Okay.
So shout out to the UConn guys.
All right, there you go. I got family in Madison, Glastonbury, Hartford, all over the place.
At that.
But a big thing that I'm looking for today is what you would be going up against if you were suited today and if you were playing for Denver. Because where the Ravens have some question marks, in my opinion, is the interior defensive line, and I'm solely basing that off of availability or lack thereof. Okay, Michael Pierce, their big nose tackle, was just placed on injured reserve. He won't go today. Brent Urban, veteran, he's in concussion protocol. Travis Jones is going to go, but he's banged up with an ankle, and he was hobbling around on Sunday in Cleveland when he watched the tape. Chris Wormley and Josh Tupou are being activated as interior defensive line presences from the practice squad. And so
what
now
year
I
is
ask
this
you.
real quick for Worm?
Oh, God, Worm was
Nah, it's not that much.
I believe he was a 2017 third rounder.
Is this his first year back?
Yes. This is his first stint back in Baltimore.
Yes.
He went to Pittsburgh after Baltimore, and then one other stop.
Great guy, by the way. So here's if I'm Denver, here's what I'm saying.
All right.
Hey, we're gonna have to lean on these freaking guys up.
Here we go. Hey, Dad, what's up, dude?
Look at this guy.
How are you? What's going on?
What's up, big dog?
Running back meets running back.
Hey,
Let's
that's
go.
how we do. I told you we one family here. RBs,
right.
baby.
FEI Ambedo. You want to come on in a couple minutes? All right.
Yes, sir.
Once Matt finishes up.
Sir. Good, man.
FEI Ambedo's in the building. We got a bunch of former Ravens around here, and
so here's the
you
deal.
answer that. We'll get you out of here.
You got to lean on the guys who were hurt. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to say, oh, you were questionable, Travis Jones. Oh, regardless, we think you were questionable. So we're going to have to double you a little bit. Mike Pierce is going to come. He's going to be on IR. So who's taking this position? Who's they playing? Worm? No, Worm is the 5, right?
Shoosh. I mean, so Travis, I would expect Travis to be a starter.
Right.
I don't know if Worm's going to be starting.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's look at the depth chart real quick because
let's check it out. I'll tell you right now.
I don't know. So Michael Pierce is down.
That's my guy too.
I'm expecting Travis to recovery. Yeah, me too, because he's a run stuffer specialist. Okay, so Travis will be in. Let's see.
Travis will be the nose.
Right. Tupou's the backup there. Wormley said this is just the ESPN depth chart, by the way.
Yeah, Nnamdi and Broderick. All right. So Nnamdi, Broderick. Okay, they had the 5s. Who are the outside? Okay. Okay, so Roquan. Okay. And Trent. So here's the deal. They're gonna lean on Travis. They're gonna make him go. Oof. They're gonna say
Denver's gonna test that ankle out right away.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna step up. I think. Yeah. That's my guy. He's a Connecticut guy.
He's a beast.
Haven guy. I think he's gonna step
a beast.
up.
Prior to that ankle, this dude's a body mover.
Absolutely. Hey, that's how we make him in CT. But listen, we make him just like that. But they're gonna lean on him and he's gonna come through. So Ravens fans trying to figure it out. Yeah, he's gonna come through for us like always. Our 5s are gonna play strong. Listen, one thing about the Ravens, here's what you got to know. One thing about the freaking Ravens, when we recruit mean dudes, right? We're mean on the field.
Wormley's a bad boy.
We're not playing around.
Yeah.
So if they're coming in, one thing you don't have to worry about is effort and attitude. So they're going to try powers. I expected a lot of – I got to look at see what they run, but I think they're going to do a lot of zone, a lot of power, right? Zone 2 power away from the strength. That's what we can look forward to. And working on the 5s, working on the pulling guards to get up to the second level, trying to burst something up the middle. That's my take. I think that we'll see. I think our guys are going to respond. I think we have a very strong back up front, and I think, like I said before, those diamonds in the rough are going to be diamonds or they're not. And then it's a playmaking business, right?
That's right.
So the D lineman room, they're going to say, hey, are you freaking guys going to make? You're not in the NFL to not make plays here. You weren't starting, but NFL stands for not for long because of injury. Everybody gets when you first walk in the NFL. Listen, you get a lot of freaking exclusives here. When you walk in the NFL, listen, the first thing they tell you, there's 100% chance of injury. End of story. So those backups know you will play.
Yep.
You'll play. So now is their just time.
Here we go. Depth's going to be tested today, whether they like it or not.
And look at the Ravens' offensive line. Tremendous.
Yes.
Right? Tremendous. But you know who goes against them? The second string D-line who's playing today.
Yep.
So I expect them to do amazing, right?
Here we go, baby. Matt Lawrence, former Ravens running back, kind enough to spend some time with me.
Yes.
It was great meeting you, and thanks for coming on the show.
I'm going to give a shameless plug to my org.
Please do.
32 Sports. 32 is my number. We bridge the gap between pro athletes and the youth. We're helping flag football here in the city of Baltimore, especially girls flag football for high school girls. I got 2 daughters.
Fantastic.
I was all about the boys.
You still in the area?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still in Maryland. So we want to help kids in the city. We help them with the sports end. Melissa helps them with the snack end with Stanley Snacks. So we hit them on both sides.
Right here.
Stanley Snacks.
Right here.
So
and I will
32
link,
Sports and Stanley Snacks are doing this thing the right way. Follow us, check us out, and support us, guys.
Heck yeah.
All right,
Matt,
man.
thank you, man.
Yes,
it was great meeting you.
Yes,
Enjoy
sir.
the
I'll be
game
back.
today, all right? And
Yes,
hey,
yes.
all the exclusives. We got to do it again, man.
Oh, yeah, we can just do an exclusive
I'll have
show.
Brian connect the two of us, all right?
Absolutely.
Look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as we continue here inside the channel, BeMoreAroundTown.com, we're here at the Be More Around Town tailgate having a blast right now. And, of course, getting ready for this Week 9 kickoff. I think Femi's going to be joining me here in just a second. We got everybody's in the building right now. What's going on? Where is he? Oh, okay. I'm sure he's got to be rocking one of his jackets today, I would think. Right? It's fall weather. He's got to be rocking one of his jackets today. Heck yeah. Oh, yeah? Okay, all right. I'll hold you to it next time. Thank you. Yep. Hey, brother, how are you? Oh, we got. You want to tell Femi he's ready to come on? Yeah, you're gonna be my guest book. All right, people. I know. That's right. Every home game. As one Raven goes out, another one comes in. How about it? Two former Ravens in a matter of moments, and a friendly, familiar face here on the channel spontaneously joins me.
Yes, sir.
In person for the first time in a minute.
Yep.
FEI Ambedo, former Super Bowl winning Raven, kind enough to spend some time. This is football weather right here.
Hey, bro, have I been interrupting your show this whole time every time I hug you and say what's up? Are you like, you're live right now?
Oh, we're live. Yeah,
okay. I'm like, he's not on a break. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're live. We got 600 plus concurrence
my
right now.
My apologies, people. My apologies.
Hey, this is football weather right
Yes,
here.
sir.
Huh?
Oh, I love it. This is perfect.
You be getting up for this.
I mean, I haven't been to a game since the Goose event. You know, that was pretty heavy on my heart.
Yeah.
And when I go to games, I'm actually watching. Like, I'm looking at coverages. I'm looking at, protections. I'm looking at routes. I'm looking at, and when I'm at a game, I can't really do all that. As you can see, I got a cocktail in my hand. I'm having a good time. But yeah, every once in a while, you got to blow off a little steam and have some fun. I'm here to do that. Support my squad. Support you as best I can. Support Stanley Snacks. We're actually here for a charity event.
Yes.
So that's a big reason why I came out. And I love this community, man. It's done. Being part of the Ravens family, going to Hopkins, meeting people like you,
Yep.
being in radio and TV, doing different things. I've met so many amazing people. My life is completely different because of being a Baltimore Raven, and I honor that. I appreciate that. Anytime I can support people that are supporting this community, I'm all about it, and you do a great job with that.
Well, I'm glad you're here for sure, and I want to get your thoughts on these inactives that just came out a short while ago, which are up on the screen. And we're going to do this just so everybody can see it like that, and we're going to go like this. Okay, so you see him right there. We just talked with Matt about it, and what we focused in on was Eddie Jackson. I actually want to go in a different direction. I'll get your thought on that in just a second because obviously, as we all know, yes, that's where I'm going next. So we just had a long conversation about Eddie. After what he put on tape on Sunday, no surprise that they went in this direction. We'll get back to that in a second. David Ajabo, back-to-back weeks where he's been a healthy scratch. This is a guy who obviously they took a flyer on after his whole pro day fiasco at Michigan. And what a tremendous college career he had. He was a late bloomer when it comes to the game of football. And maybe the Ravens knew after that Achilles tear what they'd be signing up for. But this is disappointing. This is definitely disappointing.
Yeah, it is. And I think that the NFL is a boom or bust league. It really is. 25% of teams turn over every year. You take a chance on guys. Obviously, David coming out pre-injury was a first-round draft pick. Top 20 pick, I believe, was where he was projected, right?
Bonafide.
So where the Ravens got him, I understand taking the flyer on him.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to beat up on a guy that's been injured. It's not his fault that he's been injured. And what he's put on tape is what he's put on tape. You got to separate yourself from that, too, because at the end of the day, one of my coaches in college told me, hey, it's a production-oriented business. As long as you produce, you play. You don't produce, you don't play. The other stuff is extenuating circumstances. It doesn't matter. I think David Ajabo was a good dude. I don't know where his career goes from here. It's still very early.
Yes.
And with where we are scientifically, where we are on how we treat athletes, how athletes heal, treatment protocols, could he get better? Could he do better? He could. And we'll see what happens. But right now, I understand the decision without being belaboring the point.
Yes, and what we should also note too, and it's an important one, is that it's back-to-back weeks where this could be a numbers game that he's fallen victim to when it comes to the need to beef up their interior defensive line. Michael Pierce was just put on IR. Brent Erb is in concussion protocol, right? And that's an area where Javonte Williams in Denver can kill you on the ground. So they could potentially just be beefing that up. But but he's your guy. Like you expect, a lot of people had him as a breakout candidate for the small flashes of brilliance that we've seen. But today and last week, they decided to go with more bodies from an interior standpoint. And today's are Chris Wormley, former Raven, and Josh Tupou, who were both activated off the practice squad.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how these guys play. And, I know the Ravens have the number 1 ranked run defense, but it doesn't feel like that lately. Does it feel like that to you?
Well, not coming off Cleveland.
Yeah,
for sure.
no, exactly. And not coming off Tampa either. I mean, Tampa ran the ball pretty well when they wanted to, but they figured like the path of least resistance is throwing the ball, and that's what they did.
Yes.
So this defense is reeling. Let's be honest about it. It is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know I proclamated a couple weeks ago this would be a top 10 scoring defense when it's all said and done. I got to stand on what I said. Do I feel like that right now?
We're at the halfway point.
Right. We're at the halfway point. Thank you. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to back away yet. Let's see what happens today. I know this offense it's challenged. Let's be honest. This offense is challenged. They haven't really played anybody yet, in my opinion. Doesn't mean they're not good.
Denver's been tested.
Yeah.
Been tested.
Denver's not been
battle
tested.
tested.
Yes.
Yeah.
Denver's not been battle tested. Yeah. So I need to see who they are. Now, their defense is good.
I'll show you why, by the way, for those who are just chiming in, who are just popping on. Here's why we both agree they haven't exactly been battle tested yet. This will be their biggest test so far to date for Denver. I think for the Ravens, this might be, since Kansas City, their biggest test defensively, meaning going up against Denver's defense.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
So you were saying.
Yeah. So, I think that, but this is the thing. You can only play the teams on your schedule. So do I penalize them for that? No, I don't penalize them for that. I'm just being honest. I'm just looking at the competition. I'm looking at what they've done. Are they ascending? Absolutely, they're ascending. Is their coach a savant? Absolutely. Is he a little squirrely and has an edge? He does. Does that trickle down? It absolutely does. Yeah, so this team is going to be formidable, especially in the first half. And this defense, they probably have the best corner in the NFL. Him,
Pat Surtain,
and McDuffie, to me, are the 2 best corners in the NFL. I believe that. I think McDuffie's my guy. If you say you can pick one, I like McDuffie.
You go McDuffie.
I do.
In Kansas City.
I do in Kansas City because of the completeness of his game. Not that Pat Surtain, if you just say cover this guy and blanket him, but McDuffie can do a lot of things that Kyle Hamilton does. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Movement, versatility.
Yes, exactly. The way he can blitz the quarterback. And I see Pat Surtain as he's a top 2-3 lockdown corner for sure.
Yeah. And he was paid handsomely in the offseason.
And the beauty is, though, Denver's physical up front. You know what I mean? And we're going to see the Ravens are a physical team. The AFC North is a physical brand of football. We're going to see if they're really about that life today. We're going to really find out.
To go back to what we were saying a minute ago now, Eddie Jackson has been benched.
Yep.
He is a healthy scratch for today. Of course, he left a lot out there on Sunday in Cleveland, and no need to continue to talk about that part of it. It just is what it is. 2 dropped interceptions, then, of course, the blown assignment there on what ended up becoming the game-winning touchdown pass from Jameis Winston. What have you seen from Eddie? Because he was sort of he's not Justin Simmons, and they weren't going to pay Justin the kind of money that Justin Simmons commanded, which is why he went to Atlanta and got the bag. But I'm sure they would have expected more from Eddie.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things that you take a flyer on. The cost wasn't high.
Not at all.
The upside was potentially high.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, based on what we saw last week, I think Marcus is the right choice. I think Marcus – okay, it's hard to make that comparison. If Marcus is in that exact same position, does he drop those interceptions?
You'd like to think not.
I would like to think not. But we don't.
It's hard to play that game.
But it's very hard to play that game. All we know is what happened. But I agree with the decision. I agree with the message that was sent. And I actually think the defense is going to make – they're going to respond today. And I've been talking to you a lot, about middle linebacker play. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And when I look at some of the decision-making on defense, I do think my complaint on offense and defense when I have complaints is the getting cute part. Sometimes you just got to play coverage, or you just got to line up in your spot and just play ball. Make it simple. Let's not overdo it. Let's not try to disguise and drop guys. You have a guy lined up in the box on the line of scrimmage, but he's covering a running back that's already offset, and he's already outflanked him. Like you can't do that.
Over. Yeah.
It's already over. You've got guys that are outside leverage that are running drag routes. They've already outflanked you inside, right? They've already got the advantage on you inside. My thought is let's simplify, let's reduce down all the calls, and let's just play ball. So I think athlete for athlete, the Ravens can match up with anybody. But if you get too cute on offense and defense, you start doing things. You give opportunities because you're taking unnecessary risks. I will put this roster 1 through 53 against any roster. Just line up and play ball. Now, I'm not talking about offense at all right now. I'm pretty much talking about defense. But you know what I've said.
Absolutely.
There were play calls, especially in the Tampa game, where you have Zay running a swing route and the ball's thrown laterally. You don't need to do that. You're up by 24 points. Just hand that ball off. I don't care if they know what's coming. It doesn't mean that they can stop it. And look, Coach Monken knows more football than most people have. He's forgotten more football than most people know. And I put myself in that same bucket. I'm not critiquing Coach Monken. I'm not critiquing Coach Harbaugh. That's not what I do. I'm just looking at the decisions that were made in that moment, and I feel like a better decision could have been made. That's all.
Sure.
And you know how much respect I have for the organization.
Top down.
I bleed purple. I wear purple. I drink purple. Like, you know how I do. Like, I'm a homer if there is one. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to hold refs accountable.
Objective.
I'm going to hold play callers accountable. And I'm going to hold players accountable. But at the end of the day, I support this organization 100%.
No question. Over 700 of you joining me concurrently right now across all platforms. We're here at Be More Around Town. You can get your purple tailgate passes today by visiting BeMoreAroundTown.com. I'm here with the Super Bowl champion and my friend and former Baltimore Raven, FEI Ambedo. Very spontaneous segment from you.
It was.
And right off the bat of Matt Lawrence. So this has been great. One former running back to another former running back. But Marlon Humphrey will be active today, as we learned when the inactives came out.
Wiggins as well.
Wiggins will be as well. He did not travel. Nate didn't to Cleveland on Sunday. And, of course, Marlon didn't play after being listed as doubtful going into last week. Ian Rappaport this morning, as you see on the screen, says that he could potentially be on a pitch count. Where do they go from here at corner? And is that a group, by the way? And I wonder how much you can learn, if anything, from the back-to-back inactive weeks for David Ojabo, and if that's an indication of the position that they're going to be looking to upgrade on in just under about 48 hours or so.
So two things. This defense is a lot better with Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey on the field.
Yeah.
I think if they play last week, I think we're having a different conversation. Actually, if the safety plays, if Marcus plays, I think the whole game is different in my opinion. But we can't play that game. But just making that point.
Yep.
I do think it's an indication. I would not be surprised if Jadeveon Clowney is in a Ravens uniform in a week.
Jadeveon, out of Carolina, got the bag in the offseason.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's in no man's land right now in terms of competitively.
Yeah, when I look around the NFL, do you think Cleveland's going to trade somebody to us? I don't think so.
You're referring to Za'Darius.
I am.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I feel like Cleveland thinks they have life. And Jameis Winston things last week.
He gave him life.
People are just forgetting about it. But they're going to play the Chargers today. And my guess is he's going to throw 2 interceptions today. They could still win because they have a good defense.
Reckless Jameis.
He'll probably throw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll probably throw 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and they're probably going to lose to the Chargers. But reality will come back to reality. I think Cleveland is okay, but we have no business losing to Cleveland. But I know that when you play
they won't a second
games,
time around.
I don't think so
They
either.
won't.
But when you play divisional games, anything can happen. And when you give teams life, and when teams are playing inspired ball, which they were last week, odd things happen. So, yeah. I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you're good. I'll get you out of here on this because we're having a good time today.
Yeah.
And one of my subscribers in the 8 jersey right here from Virginia came up for his first Be More Around Town
that jersey's
tailgate.
Clean, too.
It is very clean. And he and I are about to smoke a cigar right now on the live stream because he brought it up for me from Virginia. But I'll get you out of here on this.
Yeah.
Keaton Mitchell is 10 days into his 21-day activation window. They did not bring him off the pup today, meaning the physically unable to perform list. So Keaton's debut will have to wait another week.
Yep.
Now, it's not a full week.
Yeah.
It's a quick turnaround on
I
Thursday
understand
night.
why they did it. Yeah.
Do you think, given that when you play Thursday night, it turns into a mini bye, do you think that Thursday will be the eventual?
I do.
Okay.
And if it's not Thursday, it'll definitely be the next week.
Yeah.
But I figured if he plays Thursday, he has 10 days, right?
Exactly.
See where he is.
Exactly.
I think everyone's kind of speculated on that.
Yep.
So yeah. I can't wait for him to play. I just don't know. Like, but the thing is, the offense isn't my concern.
Ease him back in.
Yeah. The offense isn't my concern. I mean, the drops are my concern a little bit.
Yes. All of which were on third down last week.
Exactly. And also Lamar had 2 opportunities for touchdowns that he also missed.
And overthrew
But
both.
but Lamar, Lamar's playing MVP football. Like, it's hard to critique him because when you're looking at the range of play, it's hard to critique him. It's
the dude's human.
What else do you want him to do? Like,
the dude is human.
You ask him to be perfect.
Exactly.
There's no such thing. Like,
exactly.
This dude is playing the best at his position in the NFL. He's the number 1 ranked quarterback in the NFL. You want them to be like further ahead of the pack. Like it's asking too
You're
much.
asking for perfection.
You are.
We're nitpicking.
You can't do that. I do want to see a heavy dose today of my guy, though, the king. I want to see a heavy dose of him.
Yeah.
I want them to say, we're just going to run the ball today. We don't give a damn, and we're going to throw the ball to the tight end. Yeah, okay.
I think that they could definitely have some tight end production. And on the flip side, where the Ravens have struggled at times this year in the middle part of the field, don't expect Denver to kill them there with their tight ends.
Yeah.
They're getting very little production from that group. So I'll let you go, though.
Yeah, it's all good. I got to go up here and
I appreciate
say hi to some folks.
Have fun. Are you getting on stage right now?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. So, hey,
nice.
thank you. Hey, everybody listening, thank you.
Of course.
Let's
Thanks for the
let's
time.
get this win today.
All right.
This shit. All right.
We'll catch up
Yes,
soon.
sir.
FEI Ambedo, former Super Bowl winning Raven, kind enough to spend some time, and now he's going up to the podium. Go get it done up there. Let's go. Asmodeus. Ben, you want to come on? All right, let's do it. Sorry, there's a little bit of a line. Let's go. Mr. UK. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Houston's in the building, baby. All right, and as we transition to a very guest-heavy show today, which I love, we've had Matt Lawrence, former running back. We've had Houston will come on in a little bit. I guarantee that. I met this guy in a random. Where were we? Hey, he can't hear us. Where were we when we met? What was the name of the bar in London?
Oh, it was in Belushi's, London Bridge. Right?
Oh my! We had ourselves a time. We had ourselves a time in London, and now Mr. UK Raven himself. Yeah, you got it. Come on, let the people know. Ben Mortimer is here from London. You and your crew came over Thursday night. Okay. Well, welcome back stateside. It's great to have you.
Good to see you.
You guys treated us with just the best accommodations, pure class when we went over last October, and now 13 months later, hopefully we can do the same for you.
I hope so. It's like I think I'm glad that we didn't come out for the Raiders game, and I'm glad that we are here on a beautiful sunny day in Baltimore.
Were you thinking about coming out to the Raiders
No,
game?
it was too early in the season. But we've had two massive letdown games this season.
Yes, we have.
I think we normally bounce back pretty well from stuff like that, especially when there's that much criticism, adversity. Zach Orr is getting a lot of heat this week, so I expect the team to show up for us. We've traveled 3,500 miles for this. I don't want a disappointment. I did ask Chris McAllister if he could suit up today, but he said no.
He said no. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Their issue isn't at corner.
No. The issue is at pass rush.
Up front and on the back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you knew this because you've been out in the tailgate scene.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the benching? It's been back-to-back benchings. Are you aware of the second one?
It's not Marcus Williams, is it?
Eddie Jackson. Marcus is back.
That's a justified benching. I can live without benching.
Precisely.
Okay? So, especially if Marcus Williams is back. I've missed out on all of the news. Who is active?
Okay, so
on the D line, who's active?
Well, the only thing you've missed here is, in terms of what's notable, is that David Ajabo back-to-back weeks has been a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Eddie has been benched.
Yeah.
And Travis Jones is going to try and give it a go.
I would say if Travis
Jones
can give us a few snaps.
I'm concerned about that ankle, though. You watched the tape last weekend in Cleveland. He was hobbling around, boy. He looked like he was in pain. So hopefully he got a nice week of treatment. Yeah. Because he looked like he was in some pain.
Yeah. I think today I'd like to see Adafe Owe have himself a day.
Okay.
I think
you're up next. You're up next. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. If he can have some impact on this game, we just got to get some pressure from somewhere. I don't care if it's Carl Van Noy. I don't care if it's Adafe Owe. We just got to get some pressure from somewhere.
They need it. And guess what? I think Ajabo being inactive back-to-back weeks is an indication of what could be coming up on Tuesday. I think they're looking to, especially based on the report within the last 2 weeks that they at least called Cleveland for Za'Darius. That is absolutely an area that they have to address between now and the deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday.
I think if you're going to we've got an offense that's good enough to win a title this year.
Yes.
All we need is a competent defense. We don't need
an average. You need an average defense.
Yeah, we got make a few plays.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, we're good. We went out last night. We arrived Friday. We went out to Jimmy's last night and had quite a conservative night for the British crew.
You sure
I think
about
it's because
that?
we're staying like an extra few days.
Oh, really?
People don't feel compelled to get everything done in a weekend. So
okay,
we're going to go to Federal Hill after the game, and then we're going to. We're going to have ourselves a week.
Well, I got to tell you, as I told you last year, and I'll tell you again, what a fantastic experience that was. My hope is that at some point here, every single team, every single year, will at least have one international game.
Yeah.
You might hold on to that just in case he backs up into you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but my hope is that we're heading in that direction. But you guys were just first class. I hope you enjoy your visit here.
Yeah.
I know you were at Jimmy's last night, like you said, getting after it. And Federal Hill, watch yourself out there
Exactly.
later.
We're going to be well behaved.
Watch out for
but
Jack
raucous.
Callis walking the
No,
streets.
he's in central booking.
Mother
isn't he?
effer.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. All right. Well, I'll
Ben,
see you.
great seeing you,
as the
brother.
week goes on.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, Bobby.
And
Thank
then
you.
I'll be doing a post-game show later on if you want to call in.
Okay,
So
well, we'll see
call
what
in
condition.
from Federal Hill.
What
Good
condition we're in.
Lord.
I'll see you there. Thanks, Bobby.
All right, Ben. Appreciate it. You can hand that right to Asmodeus right there. All right, my friend. You waited long enough, and now it's time for you and I to go do what we're going to do best. You got your lighter on you? You got your lighter on you?
I do.
All right.
I don't have a stogie for myself, but you can definitely.
Oh, shoot. Well, how about I'll start it, and then you can take it on. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. So over 700 concurrents right now, and I don't do this very often on game day. All right, only special occasions. Matter of fact, this will be my first ever stogie on game day. But is everybody aware? Oh yeah, we're live, bro.
Oh, yeah, we're
How
live.
you doing? You can't be in it though. You got no. Just kidding. you can come on in a minute so we can get the Denver perspective from you. All right. Okay.
You're gonna be on it too, man.
So, Asmodeus, I just want to make sure everybody is able to put the face to the name here. This
Hello,
is Mr.
everybody.
Asmodeus, the McChicken Super Chat donor.
Hey, the reason why that even started in the first place is because the lowest donation you can do is $2, and at the time when I started it, the chickens were $2. So I said, if you're gonna give them a $2 donation, I might as well make it a McChicken. That's how it started.
Well, what it started is me doing a Jello shot the last home tailgate, and me now doing a stogie this home tailgate, and this is courtesy of you, and I appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. Rocky Patel. I know we're not talking about sponsorship, but it's not sponsored at all.
I was gonna say, what'd you give me though?
It's a Rocky Patel Edge.
All right, let's get it all nice and layered up here.
It's a Maduro, full-bodied, as a proper cigar should be.
What's your prediction for today?
Lamar's gonna have a bounce-back game. Bateman's gonna have a bounce-back game. I think Bateman. So all of the criticism that Bateman had last year came roaring back after that sunlight miss, right? So he's gonna have a bounce-back game. I would say 100 yards. I would say at least a touchdown.
Okay. By the way, come back into the frame. I want everybody.
Sure.
I want the money maker to be seen. Come on now. I hope I don't get fired for the stogie. Keep going.
I sure hope not either. If it is, it's my fault. My fault.
Oh, you'll just take over the show tonight with Sarah. That's all right. All right, keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, I expect Bateman to have a big game. I have Derrick Henry on my fantasy, so I hope he has a big game. But I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe that the Ravens are going to win. I believe it's going to be an offensive performance because the offense took a lot of criticism, especially when Charlie Kohler was under the center, and everyone looked at it. I looked at it. I'm like, what are we doing? With more expletives than I am saying right now because of real life. And then I think everyone else did as well. So I think Todd Muckins is going to take that criticism to heart. So I mean, I expect the offensive performance. Defensive wise, I'm not sure. I don't know if we need necessarily the offense or the defense to be on point for us to win the game. And I would say, I don't know if it's going to be a defensive blowout. I would say, if the defense can do a little bit of spark, I would be, that would be optimistic.
Well, let me get your thought on this because I assume that you've been enjoying the tailgate scene and you're not aware of today's benching, are you?
Who's benched?
Okay, you haven't seen this yet. Eddie Jackson has been benched after a horrific performance. And honestly, the Ravens were put in a position where that's the only decision that was the right one. They were left with no other I'm sorry, there was no other decision that could have been made here as the end result after watching the two missed interceptions. Of course, the busted coverage there at the very end. Jameis Winston's what ended up becoming the game-winning touchdown. And this is a guy who just seems as if he's lost a step. The Ravens did not pay him a great deal of money. This was the latter half of free agency.
Yes.
They weren't going to pay Justin Simmons because of the money that he was commanding in the free agent market. Mm-hmm. And now they're left with a player that in week 9 is a healthy scratch.
He is a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was looking at that game last week, I was like, I was thinking this is the Baltimore Ravens defense. This is not the Chicago Bears, and I thought that they played like they were Chicago Bears. And like that was the first thought I had coming out of my mind when I saw it. And so, I saw Roquan Smith. I mean, he's not playing up to snuff, and we know my nickname for Roquan Smith last year was Sweet Baby Ray. So I thought he, like based on the barbecue sauce, and that he reminded me a lot of Ray Lewis. And then, to see him the way that he's playing right now, I mean, granted, it is a new scheme. There's a lot of things going on. I think they're asking him to do a lot of things that he's not necessarily equipped to do so.
Well, he's a top 5 tackle getter.
He is.
He's second in the league in tackles.
He is.
He's struggled against tight ends.
So the problem,
he's struggled with alignment.
The problem is that they're having him do coverage. He's not a coverage linebacker. He is a
old school thumper.
He is an old school thumper, and that's what. Like would you ask Ray Lewis to be a coverage linebacker? No, not at all. And so I think Zach Orr is putting him in the wrong position to succeed. He's not succeeding in that. He's putting him in a position to fail. So,
well, I think they're asking a lot of him right now.
They are,
and with the different personnel and some youth movement here, I get the sense that there's a lot on his plate. His running mate is not an every down backer. It's a guy that's sipping from.
But he should be an everyday. He should be an every down backer.
Trenton, he will be. But
no, he should be right now.
Well,
he's doing a phenomenal job.
You're asking a lot of him though.
But he's doing phenomenal. It's the same. It's the same argument between, I can't think of it right now, but it's basically Harbaugh has always been he's always been a veteran versus a rookie person. A veteran. We always took in the veterans over the rookies, regardless of how well the rookies have shown out, and then how much the veterans have been struggling. He would always put the veterans first.
Yes, that's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, but I think. In that sense, like if the veterans are struggling, and you saw some spark from the rookies, you give the rookies a shot. You let them see, what they can do in the bright lights, and if they're able to do it, then all of a sudden they're able to start their.
Look who's behind you. The champ. Keep going. C-Max in the building, getting some food from Twain's Tavern.
Right. So yeah, so I mean, with the rookies, the rookies can start their prime a lot sooner if they're given the opportunity to do so.
What up, C-Mac?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, dude? Good to see you. So you were saying?
So with the with that, I mean for example, right? I think the best example I could think of is
oh, by the way, for the live chat, C-Mac. Chris McAllister's having a good time out here, and I have him on so often that I just don't want to force the issue. So I know probably some of you want him to come on, but he's having a good old time out here. I'm not gonna bother him.
If he is vibing, let him vibe. If he wants to come on, you can come on.
Yeah, he's taking selfies right now with women. He's having a good old time over here. So
how many phone numbers is he going to get to the end of the night?
Oh my God, that's hysterical. he's the best too. Man, he in London was he in London with us? I can't remember if he was in London or not, but I've had some fun nights with him for sure. Sorry about that. Keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, we got to go ahead and we got to dap up our veterans and all of our stars and everything else for sure.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Torrey Smith. I mean, would Torrey Smith have gotten the opportunity that if it wasn't for Lee Evans dropping that pass, right?
Right.
So I mean, if Lee Evans didn't do that and we ended up getting into the end of the Super Bowl earlier, would he even have had a career? So it's a sense that before the Ravens do a lot of things right. I would say having the rookies have a chance to shine a little bit sooner, that could be a criticism right there. But I can't complain too much about the organization. They do a lot of things right. They're 5-3 right now.
Let's talk about this.
Sure.
So we're gonna have to wait another week for the 2024 debut of Keaton Mitchell. He's not been activated off the pup. He's in the middle of his 21-day activation window, which could set him up for a return.
Yes.
On Thursday night on a quick turnaround week when the Ravens host the Bengals coming up again in 5 days. So, what kind of dimension, what kind of blend do you think that Keaton brings this offense now with the king in the backfield? And I'm of the belief that you don't even need to rush him in terms of the pitch count. Give him a very conservative pitch count when you bring him back to ease him back in. This was a serious knee injury that he sustained in December of last year.
Yes.
We're less than 10. I mean, it was like 10-month recovery timeline. He's young. This is his first legitimate injury in his professional life. But let's make sure that you need him and that blend of speed, explosiveness, the screen game that he gives you, all that. You need that come January.
Yes.
Make sure that is healthy come and available to you come January.
So, I mean, the plan of Keaton Mitchell, I would say, is this. I mean, I would say you start him up, you get him used to doing some NFL reps as he's getting healthy. Again, I would agree with you. I would say absolutely do a conservative approach. You shouldn't be rushed in. I mean, anytime you've seen anyone come back from a serious knee injury, they're not quite the athlete that they were prior to the injury. They need some time to ramp up. And so, have these next games up until the playoffs, have them be a chance for him to get acclimated to, getting back to NFL snaps. And then from there, he'll be in the playoffs if they do it right. That's going to be – you would almost expect it to be a 40-point game each time if they play any other team. Because, I mean,
a lot of mouths to feed,
really fast.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him live last year. He was really, really fast. And so when you add him and Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is he's not slow either. But it's
yeah, he hit 22
slow.
miles an hour this year. The King did.
I saw him on the field. It's like, oh my goodness! Like, if you imagine, okay, and then you look at the face that he has on the screenshots that they have him when he doesn't have the visor on, and it's like, do you really want a 250-pound, 6'4", going 22 miles an hour with that face?
No question.
He's an axe murderer. He's about to get your head if you're trying to tackle him.
Hey, another thing we got to talk about here, Asmodeus, who joins me right now, is that according to Tracy Wolfson, who's going to be on the call, by the way, this is a CBS Broadcasting A-team booth with Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson, is that Deontay Johnson should be expected to play about 10 to 15 snaps as he's still learning the playbook.
Sure.
That's what John Harbaugh told Tracy earlier today. What kind of element do you think Deontay Johnson brings to this offense?
I expect him on special teams. I would say he's getting used to the playbook. He's very, very good. I think on the fly by himself, without necessarily on the playbook. But I would expect him on special teams. Expect him on the kickoff returns.
Not right away though. I don't see him.
So I don't expect him being a key contributor on the wide receiver offense right now. He could certainly be that later on for sure.
Here's what I'm thinking. It's Tylen's job to lose as a punt return specialist.
Yes.
Okay. If Tylen continues not to give you that much there, and he won him a game last year, let's give him his due.
Yes.
But if that is an area that they feel like they can upgrade on, they're going to give Deontay a shot. And then I think you give him an opportunity to be a slot guy for you. He's had some success there in Carolina, albeit a small sample size, and that'll give the Ravens an element of depth that they have not had in years from a wide receiver standpoint, being that Zay and Rashad are hovering around both being top 20 types of talents at wide receiver league-wide, which is shocking. Look at
Deontay's in the top 20 as well.
Look at C-Mac getting after it in the background.
He's getting lit. It's great. It's fantastic.
He's got security officers rolling around with him, and he's just having a blast. This is hilarious.
As he should. Yeah. This is the environment to do so.
Yeah, he would be exceptional on the show right now, but I can't. I can't blow up his spot like that. All right, sorry, you were saying about Deontay.
So I mean, expect him on special teams. I would say he's gonna take up Chris Collier's. Is it Chris?
Chris Collier.
He's gonna take his. I think he's gonna take his snaps, and I think Tylen should continue to get the snaps that he's been getting. I think he should be continuing to get them, just have him have the opportunity. Because I think Tylen Wallace, you echoed back to they won the game back in against LA, and that was a phenomenal kick return. So I mean, we know that he has the ability to break games. Give him the opportunity, continue to give them the opportunity to do so. So I would say, Chris Collier would
finish your thought, and then I'm going to keep the guest chair moving, just because I want to get Houston in here before I finish the show. But finish that thought.
Yeah. So I mean, with Chris Collier, I mean, he hasn't shown anything particularly special. He hasn't broken any games, and he's made a lot of boneheaded decisions. So expect, Deontay Hardy.
Well, when Harbaugh
expect,
single-handedly calls you out for you shouldn't be taking those kicks. Let them go. Take the let them pass. Take the 30-yard line and go. 30-yard line with the freaking everybody's taking the 30. That's good field position.
Yes.
When you run an offense the way they do, you'll take 30 yards and go. So,
I mean, instead of risking a safety, I said Deontay Hardy. I'm sorry. I meant Johnson.
Deontay,
So,
yeah.
So
yeah.
I gotta hook myself there.
Deontay Hardy's on IR.
I also say that
how many drinks you had today?
I don't know, but this is straight Jameson. So
that is absolutely hilarious. Asmodeus, aka Richard from Virginia, kind enough to spend a few minutes with me. I appreciate the cigar. Before you leave, come get me. I'm going to give this to you, but I'm going to smoke it the rest of the show. Is that all right?
Smoke it the rest of the show.
You're the guy, dude. You're the guy.
Yours.
I appreciate you for coming out here. Houston's going to be coming up here in a second. I met this guy in a random bar in London last year. It was unreal.
That sounds fantastic.
So anyway, dude. Hey, so wait, just so we know, you're. Oh, look at this. This chick's dancing on a table right here behind you. Who the hell is that?
As she should.
Who is that?
She's getting after it.
Wait a second. Seriously, who is that?
No, she's getting after it. That's what she is.
Yeah,
that's her name. Getting after it.
Well, then I'd like to meet Getting After It.
Yeah, you should meet her.
You think is she with that guy, or is that her father over there?
You know what, man? The only thing you can do is introduce yourself.
Oh my, good lord!
Shoot your shot, and don't ask her if she has a boyfriend. This is
I actually want to have her on the show. Will you do this for me? Will you chug that Jameson and go ask her if she wants to come on the show as a guest?
I don't need to chug my Jameson to do that.
Okay, all right, please. Will you do that for me?
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna have Houston on right now.
All
right, perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All right, Houston, let's get it. That's my future girlfriend across the way. I don't. I'm sorry. I won't believe anything. My guy.
What's up, brother? Good
Houston,
to see you again.
Mr. Ravens flock himself.
Yes, sir. Look,
how you doing, dude?
I'm great. A little disturbed by the defense, but I'm encouraged. I'm not on that fire Zach Orr train. I'm
good.
Growing pains. First time freshman. He's a freshman. Give him a chance.
I love that. I love that patience that you're preaching right now. I think a lot of people have tried to pull the fire plug on him.
Right.
And I get it. It hasn't been perfect. But this is a guy that is sipping from the fire hose. Obviously, from a competition standpoint, he's faced elite quarterback after elite quarterback after elite quarterback. It's a different staff. It's a young and an inexperienced staff. And I think after a while, he'll get it down. I just think you got to continue to preach patience. I don't feel like they have the wrong guy. I don't feel like this is going to be something that is going to end in a one-year experiment trial run that didn't end up working out.
Yeah.
It's just let the wait, ride the
wave.
wave.
I like how we promote from within. That's like a big thing for me. When I was in the Marines, promoting from within is my thing. I like to see somebody grow up in an organization and then move up to that next level and keep getting promoted. Bringing people from the outside, sometimes that can be, they don't know the culture. They don't know the fan base. They don't know what it means to be a Ravens or a Ravens fan.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I just like having Zach. And one thing I would say is,
who's dancing up on me? How you doing? Oh my God, Meg! I was like, who the heck is dancing on me? How you doing?
How are you?
Good to see you. I was like,
the one thing I will say about this year that I've noticed is this: every time the Ravens lose, it's always.
I'm sorry, I am listening. I think my future wife's across the way there. Just so you're aware.
I know the whole dating saga that's going on with you. So hey, handle your business, bro.
You see that shit? Sorry, continue that thought though.
Right. But no, every time the Ravens have lost this year, there have always been extraordinary circumstances, almost unbelievable circumstances involved. Like
3 dropped interceptions.
Hamilton dropped 1 interception 3 times.
That he'd make 99 times out of 100.
It's always extraordinary circumstances. It's never the other team.
3 drops on 3rd down.
Right. It's never another team just coming in and flat out beating us. We beat us. So I'm very encouraged today that, that rebound game against Denver. I feel sorry for Denver in a way. Bo Nix. Who's Bo Nix?
Sorry for Denver.
Don't leave without me,
Appreciate
Ben.
you,
I'm
brother.
on my way. Yeah. But, yeah, my boy Ben and the UK Ravens are in town.
I was going to say, so did you connect the dots for me here in terms of how you ended up becoming buddies with them and then how you ended up in London?
Ben.
Is this the one that was I rocking that?
No, there was another one.
Oh, okay.
Ben is a Baltimore Brit. That's what I call him, the Baltimore Brit. He actually lived in Fells Point for years. He was the point man for the company UK MVP Travel over here in the United States. They did sports tours and everything. I met him in 2002, and we've been boys ever since. I met him at a tailgate similar to this. You know, kid from Park.
Look at this. There she goes.
A kid from Park Heights, a kid from York, England.
Yeah.
We just met, and instantly we hit it off. We've been friends ever since.
And it took you forever to get over here. We wanted you to come on the show. I saw you dance on a table over there. I was like, I got to get this girl on the show right here.
Hey.
You want to come on?
Yeah. Houston, I'm a friend of Bobby's. You're with the king of Baltimore Ravens media in Baltimore.
Don't believe him there, but what's your name? Madison, I'm Bobby. Nice to meet you.
You want to sit down and talk?
Do you want to go find Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, brother.
All right.
Great talking with you.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Have fun in there and go enjoy that UK Raven group, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Madison. Oh boy. Good Lord. Hold on to this thing right here. Look at this. What's that? Okay, crush.
Can we go off air?
Go off air? We've been on the air for over an hour. You got 700 people staring at you right now. You're live concurrently on the show here. You take this.
Oh my God!
Look at you.
Bad. This is bad.
All right, you do this. I'll do this. I'm gonna smoke the cigar. Okay, so
I'm gonna drink the drink.
Okay, cool. So across the way, you're dancing on a table. I've never seen that in my life, and I've been working with this tailgate company for what feels like
I'm so sorry.
well over a year, and now they did well booking you over here. So somehow they convinced you to come on. We could smile here.
Wait,
how's it going?
This is my mom.
Oh, hey, Mom. How's it going? We'll get you on next. Okay, so you're from Baltimore?
I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kentucky.
And you came up for today? Oh, you got Louisville ties?
A little bit, but I'm from Owensboro. It's like 2 hours from Louisville.
Oh, okay.
You're not even saying Louisville right.
Well, I knew you were going to say that. Once I realized you were local, I was going to be in trouble. So why'd you make the trip?
My dad is here for work, so we had to make the trip. My friend's from Baltimore, so we had to make. We're actually living in Nashville right now.
Okay. Who's we? You and your crew.
Me and my crew, yeah.
You and your family. Okay. Well, Nashville is like bachelorette heaven.
It's really not. It's what you make it.
How far are you from the strip?
I'm like 5 minutes.
Just
it's
insanity.
Crazy. I love it.
That's insanity. Okay. So do you love the Ravens because of Lamar, or do you know who the Ravens are playing today? Oh, jeez.
They're playing the Broncos.
You gotta be kidding me.
We love Bo
Okay.
Nix. We're good. We're Auburn people.
Okay. All right.
We're good.
Well, you're on a Ravens channel right now.
Okay.
And everybody
love
wants
you
to know
guys.
your score prediction for today.
Okay, the score prediction for today.
Yeah. Well, that's up to you.
We think the score prediction is going to be like 27-42. Is that good?
27-42 in favor of who?
Ravens.
Okay.
Is that good?
You trying to be a homer?
I'm such a homer.
That's that crush.
It's so good.
Unreal. So you got your parents here with you.
We got our parents here.
You're from outside Louisville, not Louisville.
It's Louisville, actually.
Louisville.
We're from Ellensboro, Kentucky.
What school did you go to?
I went to school in Ohio. I played softball.
Played softball? Which one?
I did. Ohio Dominican.
Okay.
D2 in Columbus, Ohio, right by OSU.
What position?
What do I look like?
You got that southern twang to you too, like a little bit of a
What do I look like?
little sassiness to you.
If you're wrong, I'm leaving.
You ain't leaving.
I'm leaving. If you get it wrong, it's easy.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
You're 5'4".
Come on, guys, help us in the chat.
I was gonna go
Come on,
either.
it's easy.
I was gonna go short or center.
Okay, good. Yeah, middle in.
Okay. All right. So
Do you play sports?
I played baseball for a little
Okay,
while.
what'd you play?
I was a first baseman. Then they stuck me out in left field. That's horrible. I was getting bored out there.
Outfield.
Do you want to come on too? Are you guys tight?
Who are we with?
Are you two? Do you want to come on the show?
Yeah, this is my roommate. This is my roommate.
Okay.
In Nashville. Guys,
Okay, so
come see us in Nashville, Tennessee.
So I literally just FaceTime with a good buddy from high school
What's
last
his name?
night. Well, you wouldn't know him, but he's just in Nashville at the moment at a wedding.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hit you up because I want to know when I do ultimately go to Nashville.
Yeah.
I want the stuff that's off the beaten path. I
But,
don't want the whole
I
strip.
don't live
thing.
in like Nashville. I live in Germantown, so it's like
Germantown. That's where he's staying.
Okay,
Yep,
yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
I have to take a picture of us.
Okay.
What are we on right now? YouTube?
We're on YouTube right now.
What's the thing?
This is the Bobby Baltimore YouTube channel.
Bobby Baltimore.
Well, you can do Instagram. It's Bobby Baltimore.
Okay, I'll
And
add
you can just tag me. I'll repost that sucker. But your parents want to get to the game over here. These guys are fired up.
Get my mom on this.
Yeah, I just invited her on. Let's go. I want to meet.
I
want to meet her. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, Mom. This is my mom.
Hey, do you want to come on the show for a minute? Okay. All right. Your daughter wants you to come on the show. There we go.
Can I hit it?
This was gifted to me too. Yeah. She's hitting the cigar now. Oh, good Lord. I'm not gonna make the game, guys. Tell Sarah I'm not gonna make the game. Sarah, if you're listening, I'm not gonna make the game. I might come in with you guys. That's my co-host. Sarah's my co-host. I've actually never been. Was it a cheap cigar? It was given to me by my one of my subscribers. Is it cheap?
Yeah, I took it off.
Yeah, you're done? You done with me? Go enjoy the game. It's great to meet you. What are you guys doing after? You going to Fed Hill? You got your itinerary? Oh, come on. You're not even going to Fed Hill? All right. I was going to give you all kinds of recommendations. Okay. Thanks, Kate. See ya. Well, so I do a post-game show. All right. You know what?
Let me get a
Let's get. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the show right now. We're going to catch up for a minute. Hold on a second. People, I got to go. Later, guys. Appreciate you as always. Talk soon.
Do you live
This
in
is absurd.
Nashville? No, you don't.
No, I live here.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You gotta come back. You gotta come back.